Happy New Year. As usual, I brought the new year in sick as a dog. I'm That's why we doing what the fuck Wednesday versus Tuesday. You hear my voice is still all messed up from all the coughing I've been doing. But I'm glad to see you guys. I hope you had a really good New Year's Eve and the first part of the year is being good to you and all that good stuff. We got February right around the corner. I'm a little behind because I couldn't really talk, so I couldn't really record stuff. So I don't know how I'm gonna catch up, but I've lost like a week now. But I'm gonna do my best, and we're doing a subscriber drive right now to try to get 25,000 people before February 1st. So go on the community page that's at the top of the channel, and you'll see the little graphic. You can just forward that, save it to your computer or your phone or something, and just post it everywhere to try to get people to come on over here and become a subscriber to the Debsterism channel so they can partake of all this fun and exciting stuff that we're going to have going on here in February. I got a great lineup for you. Just to let you know, the theme of the month is going to be my favorite phrase, making the magic happen. Okay, maybe we'll be making some magic happen. I got all kind of stuff to help you change your thinking, your behavior, your patterns, your outlook, your belief systems, all kind of stuff is going to be going on in February. Some pretty intense programming as usual. You know how I like to do things. So, make sure you share that graphic and share the channel link or share a couple of videos this month to try to get your friends and family and people who follow you on social media over here. So what we're gonna do tonight, after my long intro, is do the advice column. Normally that's done on Tuesdays. We're gonna do it tonight. People send in their letters. They are collected and put into this document by my lovely cousin Candace, and then I read them on the air and respond to them, just off the cuff in real time. So that's what we do. So let me see how many questions we got. And I just want to warn you, I'm going to go as far as I can go, and then I'm going to stop. But if I don't get to all of them today, I'll, catch up on the weekend and probably add some more to them too. But just let you know because of my voice, I don't know. Yeah, see, she went crazy. We got 23 questions here. But this was done before I got sick, so whatever. So let's move on. Let's get started, okay? It's good to see everybody here. All right, question number one of the evening on What the Fuck Wednesday is from a female 37 to 45 age group out of the UK. She says, I have a 19-year-old son with a violent temper. Oh, first sentence, I'm like, okay, here we go. He has punched holes in the walls, kicked out spindles in my staircase, thrown everything imaginable at walls, kicked my appliances in the kitchen, leaving dents in my dishwasher and a hole in the door of my fridge. He spit in my face and calls me horrible names. This has been going on for a while, she says. I've tried to talk to him, love him, tough love him, spoil him, counseling, medication. Nothing has worked. He says he's that way because of me, but I honestly have done all I can. Today he took another nutty and threw a 16-ounce bottle of water against the walls. I just killed myself a patch and paint again for the 100th time. Called me a very, very nasty name when I told him he was not welcome back in the house. My daughter just called me to say that he came back with a full trash barrel and dumped it all over my screen porch. As I am writing all this, I'm thinking, of course, am I right to tell him to leave? But I feel so afraid that I will cave in. Please tell me that I did the right thing. I'm a single parent. His father already took him in once and threw him out due to the same behavior. He has a car, which I pay car payment and insurance, so he has means of transport. Okay, lady, you are on some. Okay, see, I was going to really try. Since I wasn't already feeling well, I was going to try to not cuss. But, lady, you on some bullshit, okay? This boy is manipulating you with this crazy behavior. On this channel is a video called When He Plays Crazy or Acts Crazy or something like that. You need to watch it because this is what's happening to you. I'm talking about dudes that do it, to their romantic partner, but he's doing it to you and to your husband to manipulate you. So what you're supposed to do is he shouldn't have been able to get into your screen porch because you should have changed the locks once you put him out. Okay. And you talking about quote for a while. He would have got to do that shit exactly one time in my house once. And then you get out. At 19, that's an adult. Okay, he's not a kid anymore. You owe him nothing. And that car that he's driving, we get ready to send that back to, sell it to, return it to the car people pays, whatever. We're canceling all cars, all insurance. You're going to make the magic happen all by yourself. Because you want to act a fool, unappreciative, don't care about nothing, destroy everything. You're going to have the chance to do that, but only to yourself and the things that you buy. And then what I would give him is the number to the armed services. That's what he needs. Armed forces, whatever you guys got in the UK, your Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, whatever, that's where he needs to go. So all his aggression and all that stuff can get trained out of him by some guys who will show him what real toughness is. Because he thinks bullying his mother is something exciting and, manly. He need to get over there with some of them 300-pound dudes that got chests the size of a wall and pull that stunt and see what happens to them. See, that's what, he's just a little punk. And you need to get him out your house. You definitely did the right thing, but you didn't go far enough. When he did that trash thing, you're supposed to call the police on him. Okay, that's vandalism. And then have him arrested. And then every time he does something, you call the police and have him arrested. You get a restraining order on your own son. He tells me I don't want him anywhere around my house ever again. Okay, then he's not going to have anything to do because he has no job, no sense, no nothing. He's going to have to go into the army or whatever if they even accept him. But it sounds like he's in good health. He's got great upper body strength. Okay, muscular endurance. He got all that. So he should be a perfect candidate for the service. And then he'll be in there for a few years, and maybe by the time he gets out, he'll have some sense. That's cured many a young man. She said it's been going on, quote, a while. Now, we wouldn't have been fighting. I would have shot him. I would have shot my own son. That's what would have happened. I'd been like, oh, is that what we doing? That's what we doing? And he would have got shot. Yeah. Well, unless he doesn't have a diagnosis, Crystal. She didn't say that. She didn't say he was diagnosed with anything. She just, he has a behavioral problem. And a lot of times, like I said, the behavioral problem is nothing but overindulgent parents that allow them to get away with these kind of, boundary violations. Like, you have a kind of parent like like old school people, you didn't do that stuff. You got one time to act like that, and then your daddy put his fist through your face, and then you got magically cured. Just like ADD was cured, ADHD was cured, all them things, all these things now that kids say that they have, they didn't have that because they had a daddy that punched the shit out of them. And so, you would get an instant cure. But that's what he needs. But since his father didn't do it and his mother can't do it because she's too small or whatever, just grade, let the service do it. And if he doesn't do that, I've already done that, Anaya. And if he doesn't want to do, if they don't let him in, then he just gonna be on one of them people on the street, a bum, until he gets his act together. I wouldn't be bothered. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing, Cat. It's like you never know what you're gonna get, or they might start off normal, because she says for a while. So see, something happened. So he was like a normal little kid, and then he got, turned. Usually, it's when they turn a teenager, they start acting stupid. So let's move on to question number 2, because nothing we can really do there. Female, 37 to 45, out of Melbourne, Australia. She says, my adult son, who is bipolar, is 28 and he moved back home. He is not a problem. He cooks, cleans, and pulls his own weight. The problem is he came home with a girlfriend and her cat. I set down rules. I'm not your mother. You take turns cooking, and upstairs is yours in my son's apartment, and you look after it. I felt bullied into them coming here. She bought her own unit, but it's in a bad area and too scared to live there, so her apartment sits empty. So here we are 3 months down the road. I told them that they had the end of January to let her place out and find a place to live. They haven't packed up her place. They have till the end of the month. I don't mind my son being here, but as I said, he pulls his weight and is grateful. His girlfriend, on the other hand, treats this place like it's the Hilton. She's cooked twice when I told her to, and she cracked the something. I don't know if she put a bunch of ashes, but did it. Hasn't picked up a broom. Never says thank you when giving her dinner by my son or I. Leaves her plate and just walks off. Her total input to the house is 1 carton of milk. Leaves crap everywhere. Last night I didn't feel like cooking. Said, let's have takeout. Curry. She was like, I don't eat curry. Chinese was suggested. I don't eat pork. And on it went. In the end, I said, well, sort yourselves out. And I had toast. And as usual, my son paid. My son does their washing, feeds her cat. Never seen her do it. And he does the litter box. I'm so over it. I'm happy for my son to say, but she needs to go. But how? I'll be made to feel guilty. My son has spoken to her with no improvement. He's about to start working away, and I can see I'll be totally responsible for her and that bloody cat. My husband and I are going to Europe in 6 weeks for about 2 months, and I can just imagine the state the house would be in if I let them stay here. She's nice enough, but just a lazy bum. I had thought about getting a cleaner once a week and splitting the cost, but she'll say she can't afford it. I'm already paying for all the food and all the bills. This is driving me crazy. So she goes on to some more details about the sun and rent isn't cheap here in Australia. Hubby comes home from work next week. He works away. I have visions of him dishing her dinner up on a paper plate with a plastic spoon. You don't want to put your dishes in the dishwasher. That's what you get. I love him. But she wouldn't get no food if she didn't buy shit. Ah. But if I say go at the end of the month, that would be the biggest cow on earth. My son has already asked me how much longer they have. I've told him you can stay as long as you want, but she needs to go. I know if I tell her to go, he will too, and that will put him in danger. She has parents, but they won't have her there. Any thoughts? Wait a minute. Did you say how old these people are? Let me see that. She wrote so fucking much. Oh, he's 28. Okay, but she doesn't say how old she is. Okay, 28, that's an adult. He's bipolar, but it sounds like it's under control with his medication. He's going to start working away. Um, so by the time that happens, but you gave them to the end of the month, they all both need to be out. What you're failing to understand is this is a package deal. So even if she left, she would still be coming over, and you would still have to be bothered with her. Still eating up the food and messing up the house. So what you have to have is both of them leave, and that muddy ass cat. Everybody got to get out. That's what you need to have happen. And, he's going to be working away. She should have bought the unit if she was scared to live there. They have a place to go. See, that's the part that's really driving me crazy. You're not homeless if you have a place to go. You just don't want to go there. But what's that got to do with me? Should have bought your place in a better area. That was a decision that you made. So you all get out at the end of this month. You're going to move back over there. So, and that's it. That's all there is to it. And if they don't do it, then when they're gone from the house, you change the locks and tell them, I will let you in to get your stuff, and then you're getting out of my house. I don't want you in here. And you have to have the same attitude with your son. Because even though you're saying, well, he's not the problem, he is the problem because he brought that silly hoe up in your house. He knows how she is. This is not news to him. And talking about he talked to her and all this stuff. He's not her parent, though. It's not his job to raise somebody else's daughter, an adult person, and make them do what they're supposed to be doing. So I don't know. This is a bunch of losers. All y'all crazy. I couldn't be bothered personally, but that's what I would tell her. You guys get the end of the month, and then you need to move out, move over there to your place, and get out of my house. Question number 3: female, 21 to 26, in Arkansas. I currently live with my mom, and she doesn't want me paying any bills. I just got my first job out of college, making over 50K, and my mom is constantly talking about me giving her money. This isn't for rent or bills or anything because whenever I inquire about a bill, she gets defensive and tells me to save money and to basically stop acting grown. I am 22 for reference. Now that I am employed, I haven't even got my first check yet. She's making comments about how she's going to get good gifts for the holidays and I should give her money each paycheck because I'm, quote, supposed to take care of my mom and things like that. I don't know how much she makes, but I know she doesn't make less than me, especially when she has frivolous spending habits on her own. It's frustrating because she would ask to borrow money from me before I even had a job. And it's confusing because she's telling me not to spend any money on bills so I can save up, but then wants me to give her spending money. I'm afraid I'm going to end up in a financially abusive situation because she wants me to financially dependent on her while also giving her free money. Okay, this is what you have to understand here, young heiferette. Anywhere your little ass lived, you would be paying some bills. Okay, you would be paying some housing, you would be paying some lights, you'd be paying for some heat, you'd be paying for some food, all your laundry, soap, all that stuff we would be coming out of your pocket. In addition to your gas for your car payment, insurance, clothes, and entertainment. All of that would be coming out of your pocket. So now the fact that your mother's saying she doesn't want you to pay any bills is irrelevant. You know how much the rent is, right? You know how much the light bill is. Or you could just go down there and, just pay it. You don't have to have her permission to pay the light bill. Anybody can pay. Now, they're not going to tell you how much is owed. But if you say, I want to put this $100 on the bill that's for my mama at this address right here, they will take your money, especially if it's cash. They'll take it. Now, they're not going to tell you like what the balance is and all that kind of stuff, but they will take the money and apply it to the account, especially if it's for your mother. You guys got the same address. So you have options here. You could come in the house with a bag of groceries. You could just put the money in her account. What's she gonna do? Take it out and give it back to you? See, what she wants it to feel like it's like you're giving it to her. But the bottom line is whether you give it to her or whether it goes towards the bill and then she has her own money to spend for her spending money. The bottom line is you're still fairly contributing as an adult to the your own upkeep in that household. Now you're not gonna be in no financially abusive situation. Get real. Okay, there's nowhere in this world your ass is gonna be living for free. So you need to get over that pipe dream. You still trying to have like that kiddie mindset, and you a college graduate with a job now. You're an adult, so you're gonna have to pay your way. So you got a choice: either you move out and pay it all by yourself, or you pay a fair share of it every month to your mother. And what she does with the money is her business. But that's all you're gonna give her. Make sure she knows that this is what I'm gonna give you. The rest I'm gonna save, and then just make it work. And that's how you're gonna do it. I don't understand these adult kids. Oh, you're just using me. You think them lights turn on for free? See, that's what I mean. They got like that kid mindset about stuff because they've never had to pay those things. You go to college and you pay a dorm fee, right? You don't. It's not broken down by how much goes for your lights and water and stuff like that. But you living on your own. Your money has to pay for that. Like I have to pay for garbage too. Garbage, water, lights, everything. It's separate. So it'd be shelling out a whole bunch of money. These people are crazy. Well, it's not really double talk. It's very clear what the mother wants. The mother wants to feel taken care of. She wants to feel like her daughter is gifting her stuff. It's very clear. It's not double talk. Her mother wants to feel like her daughter is giving her money because she just loves her mother. She's just like, Mama, here, I just want you to have some pocket money. That's what the feeling the mother wants to get. That's why she doesn't want the girl paying it on bills. She wants to feel like it's a gift to her, personal. That's what she wants to feel like. But I'm telling the girl that's not necessarily the best way to do it because the mother then can go and tell everyone, well, I'm paying all the bills in the house and, this and that. And she gives me money or whatever. But, because you never know how she's going to play it. So in order to do the preemptive strike, you figure out how much the rent is. You pay, I don't know, half. And then, you pay a portion of you pick up the cable bill or something like that. And so you pay all that. And then you come in the house every so often with some groceries every once a week or something. You pick up $50, $60 worth of groceries. Your mother won't have shit to say. And then that amount that she was spending on those things, then she can then spend for herself. So it's the same thing. Either you give it to her or takes it, out from she doesn't have to pay the bills with it. But the bottom line, she still has it in her pocket to spend. And that's what's the bottom line is for me. Okay, so let's move on to question number 4. This is a female, 37 to 45, out of San Francisco. I've been watching your videos since May of this year, and they have helped me change the way I view men, specifically black men. My question is, why in the hell do black men spend so much time trying to control women, game on women, dog them out, live vicariously through women who go to college to get to high-paying jobs while they shuffle through life doing the bare minimum, expecting to partake in the fruits of black women's labor? Ooh, that is the run-on sentence of life. Why don't they put all this effort into fixing their own shit? Why don't they realize this is why they are the most unemployed, underemployed, uneducated, and most incarcerated group on the planet? I just told a knock off for trying to tell me I shouldn't spend money on braces for my son, asking does he really need them. Mind you, he's not the sperm donor. I said, that's what the hell the doctor said. I don't see no college or medical degrees on your wall. His feelings are hurt over how I spend my income, which ain't his business. All this from a Negro who puts more value on the amount of Jordans, the latest and the greatest, while crying about not making enough money at a low-wage job. Why do black men continue to value material over education and responsible financial decisions that have nothing to do with them? Thank you for your time and appreciate any insight on this fuckery. Well, we're not going to talk about men in general. We're going to talk about the one that you're dealing with, okay? The nigga that you told off. Okay, now, I want to understand why you told him about your son needing braces. Why is that his business? That's your son. That's your money. That's not his concern. I wouldn't have mentioned it to him personally. He just would have seen my son one day and the son would have had braces. He'd be like, oh, your son got braces? Yeah. See, this is what I mean about women talking too much. You talk too much, you tell too much of your business. Number two, um, if this is a seriously concern for yours, madam, why are you dealing with somebody who has this mentality? So see, if you're not dealing with somebody who has this kind of, he's worrying about George's got a low paying job, why are you even talking to him? He's not on your level. He's like, like trash. That's like a bum, a dusty. Okay, now we don't deal with dusties. You especially do not want to have dusties around your son being a role model for the kind of men that his mother finds acceptable. Okay, you got to be very careful with this kind of stuff because your son is watching. He's watching. He's not going to say anything, but he's going to be looking. And what you find is what your standards are for manhood. He's going to rise to the highest level that you demand the men in your life have. And that's what I think a lot of women just don't get. And then they wonder why their son is a bum. Your son is a bum because that's all you had around him were bums. And he says, well, that's as high as I have to go. That's the standard for achievement around here. You know, Men only gonna do the bare minimum. They're gonna do exactly what they have to do and not an ounce more. So that's just standard. That's like male just out of the book of man. That's all they're gonna do is what they have to do. So as far as all this other stuff, a lot of times men have extremely low self-esteem. I've done some videos on this before, and they don't feel like they can be a success. And so they aren't. They don't even try. They don't try to be successful. I wish you guys would say stuff. Stop saying stuff sounds like a fake letter. You don't know shit about what's fake and not. Come on now. In every chat lately, somebody comes up with that as an excuse. You don't know what people's situation is. Okay, you don't know what the people's problems are. Do not dismiss and discount their issues by calling them a fake letter. That is very rude. And we don't do rude on my channel. The only person who gets to be rude is me. Okay? The letter writers, you give them the respect. You can think whatever you want to, but don't type it in my chat. Okay? I don't want any record of that kind of stuff. If the woman's got this concern, she's got a son and stuff, then it's not a fake letter. It's very much a reality because people do have this question. We ask this question all the time about why they act the way that they act. And so nothing about this indicates fake to me. Whew. Y'all don't feel good, y'all. Don't test me. Don't try me. I'm in a bad mood already because I don't feel good. Okay? When I'm sick, I'm extra irritable. Let's move on to question number 5. Female, 18 to 21, Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's all I really ask. You know what I mean? When you come to my chat, be polite. Have your company manners on. Okay, don't say nothing stupid in my chat. Don't call people names in my chat. Don't be being, like that to the people. Like I said, you can think whatever you want to. Just don't make an evidence of it in the chat stream for everybody who comes and watches this video from now till forever to see. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know. Some of these, not this one, but some might be. I don't know. But I still take them seriously because even if that letter isn't quite fake, the issues are always real. They're going to apply to somebody. You got me? So we just address them that way. Okay? I just want us all to be on the same page and go into 2020 with a new attitude, problem solving, not discounting and dismissing. Okay, now this lady, she's 18 to 21. Wow, she's young. So she says, my brother and his ex-fiance have a 4-year-old daughter that I've been taking care of since she was born. What? So I wonder how old she is. Let's just say, okay, let's say she's 19. That means she was like 15 or 16, something like that. At first, it was just me babysitting, normal teenage stuff, but then it turned into me taking care of her full time. It came to the point where she moved into where I was staying my senior year of high school, and this had a negative impact on my grades at the end of the year because my brother went to jail and the mother didn't want her. But now I'm in college, and it's also had a negative impact on my experience so far. Oh, this is sad. I tried to bring this up to my family, but everyone treats me as if I'm her mama and obligated to take care of her. Her parents and my family gotten so comfortable as to even make jokes saying I am a real mother. To make things even more stressful, I also take care of my grandmother and a full house of other people's animals. I'm tired of doing this and I don't know what to do. Up until recently, I wasn't in a position to be able to do anything because at the time I was living with my mother, who sabotaged a lot of the opportunities that I had, so I had no choice but to stay in my hometown and take care of everyone. But I may have an opportunity to move, and I just want to do this right so I don't have to come back. I also realize I have fucked up by being so passive and allowing this to go on for so long. I cook, clean, help with homework, do doctor appointments, do parent meetings, as well as other things. I have no time to even sit down and plan what I want to do for my future. I don't even have time to hang out with friends and do normal young adult things. I'm just so tired of it all. Can you help me? Oh, this poor baby. Okay, this is what you're going to do. First thing you're going to do is get somebody to come in there and help with the grandmama. Okay, that's the number one thing. Call whatever your department, welfare, social services, senior care, whatever. They have programs all over this country called in-home support services. They run through the social services department of every county. Okay, every county government. So you make an inquiry, get a social worker over to the house, and they will set somebody up to come in the house and clean and cook and take bathe and change the sheets and do other stuff only for your grandmother though. Not for the rest of them folks. They're gonna be on their own. This person will help your grandmother with her comb her hair, make sure she's not stinky. If she wears them diaper things, they'll change the diaper. They'll do all that kind of stuff for her. And if she's on what you call it, Social Security and all that stuff, there's like a share of cost that will come out of her check, but it's usually a sliding scale based on that income. So that would be that. Okay, so now everybody else, except for the little girl, is taken care of. So next stop is you call Child Protective Services, and you tell them what's going on and say she needs to go to a foster home where she can be safe and taken care of because these people here are going to. It's not her baby to love. Amazing. She's been taking care of somebody else's child since she was 15 years old. The girl can't even go to college and do what she needs to do because of her dusty jailbird brother and the bum ass mother who had the baby who just decides she don't want her. So this little girl has been stepping in. It's not her job to take care of this baby. She needs to go and live her life. So what you're gonna do, I know it's gonna be hard for you because they're gonna be trying to guilt trip you. That's okay. Do you understand how passive you are? Call Adult Protective Services or whatever, the social service for your grandmother. It's Child Protective Services for the 4-year-old, and they're going to take her away. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting because your family's going to have a fit. They're not going to want her to go away. And so then they're going to have to deal with the social worker and they're going to have to deal with Child Protective Services and they're going to have to set up a plan for who is going to take over the care of that girl because you're leaving. Okay? You're leaving the state and you're not coming back. So with those two things in play, where there's like government assistance, social workers, people who are trained to do this all stuff, you're clear. You like a Vegas blackjack dealer. Psh, psh, bam. You're off the table and on about your business. They can do the adults there. They can work out what they want to do. Yeah, they can be, but it's just it's a very unfortunate situation. This is why I am a firm believer in abortions. This is why I tell people all the time. They be like, "Oh, you shouldn't kill your baby. You should this and that, this and that." This is the kind of shit that I'm be trying to prevent. This stuff right here, because it's like these two people that had that little girl. They should have never had the baby. The silly cow and the jailbird brother should have got a termination. Now, if you didn't use birth control, it failed or whatever, you just plan B, you didn't do that, abortion. Okay, there's like, steps to this. But they didn't do that. And so they're trying to dump the baby on this little teenage girl. That's not fair to her. She can't even live her life because of the guilt and obligation and the responsibility that they have dumped on this child to take care of this whole house and the grandmother and the baby too. What are these other adults doing? They're not doing crap. She's doing everything. So, um, she's leaving. Hot caramel. She's leaving. She's got an opportunity. She's gonna be leaving the state. That's what I'm telling her stuff to do to get it in play before she leaves. So that when she leaves, the two dependent people are in situations where they can be taken care of. See, then she can leave with a clear conscience because she sounds like the kind that would feel guilty. Dead guilt does not exist in my vocabulary because as soon as they start saying, I said, I wasn't the one fucking making that goddamn baby. I'm not doing shit. And then they would have been like, well, that's messed up. I'm like, oh, well, you the grandmother, you take care of it. And I would have been out the door on about my business. No, mm-mm, we're not doing that. We may be doing something else, but we're not going to be doing that. And so, but I have very firm boundaries about that kind of stuff. Help with homework. See, she be doing everything. She do too much. All right. Question number 6. Female, 18 to 21, from St. Louis. I dumped my boyfriend 3 days ago. He keeps saying, quote, you wanted to be single. You never cared. You couldn't wait to be back on the market. Oh, did he now? He keeps saying karma is going to get me and I'm not going to have good luck for what I did because he didn't do anything. Today he said the people who was telling you things wants you to be a hoe like them. He acts like I didn't love him and it's making me feel bad. What's wrong with you? Okay, I don't know what's wrong with you. You're only 18 to 21. It's probably your first boyfriend or something. Girl, don't you know that's just game? Let me just tell you, anything when they try to manipulate and coerce you into staying with them, even though they treat you badly, even though they dog you out, cheat on you, lie to you, do all this stuff, and then they try to flip it around so it's like you did something wrong. That's typical nignoggery. Okay, they gonna always do that. All you supposed to do is either block him so he can't call you and text you with the silliness, or change your number altogether. You have options here. You don't have to take his call. You don't have to deal with him at all, ever again. But you wanted to be single. Yes, I did want to be single. I wanted to be single because I'm tired of you and your shit. He said, you never cared. You right. You couldn't wait till you market. Yep, you right. Because I was be on the back on the market looking for a man who's got some sense, which you do not. Karma's going to get me. There's no such thing as karma. You're not going to have good luck for what I did because he didn't do anything. I mean, that's exactly the point. You didn't do anything. You're a dusty. I don't want to date a dusty. So I'm leaving you. They want you to be, see, he's not worried about it. He's worried about what she's going to be doing with her coochie. You're telling him he wants you to be a hoe like them. Psh. Well, the only hoe you know anything about is your mama now. Don't feel bad because he's playing these silly games that you just play him back. Either that or, like I said, just change your number and go on with your life. Question number 7, female, 30 to 36, out of California. My mom wrote me a big check for Christmas. It's not some crazy amount, but it's a lot for me, especially since she said I'll get another similar one next year. I'll be over the moon at her very generous gesture, except she explicitly stated it's for a down payment on a house. She also talked about how she'll co-sign with me. I am single by choice, child free, and scraping by as is. I like my little apartment. I don't want a house, not now, and unless something really major happens to change my mind, not ever. I haven't told her that because it's nothing. It never came up before. Why would it? I obviously not in need of a whole house given how I live my life. When she gave me the check, I thanked her over and over for how thoughtful a gift it was. I do appreciate what she's attempting to do. I didn't point out that I don't want a house since I didn't want to be an ass over dinner. I can't bring myself to cash the check. Imagining taking that money makes me feel gross, like I'm conning my mom because I have zero intention of using it for its intended purpose. Also, my dad, decades divorced from my mother, and his brother both burned me bad when I was younger. They promised work and money that never happened, putting stuff in my name, etc. It's taken years to untangle all that crap, and I'm still not sure if I got it all. So I have a visceral reaction to the idea of anyone else getting a say in my finances. How do I tell my mom that I don't want this very well intentioned money without hurting her feelings? Is there a nice way to say I'd rather eat staples than co sign anything with a family member ever again? You don't have to go that far, but all you have to do is give your mother back her check and say, I really appreciate, you thinking of me, but buying a house either alone or in partnership with someone else is not on my goal. That's not one of my goals right now. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but it's not something I'm interested in doing. So, if you want to buy something and you want me to rent it from you or something, we can do that. But I'm not going to be signing on for any mortgage anytime soon. I just don't want to. And just tell her that. You know, I don't know why she's trying to push you to do that and then have her name on it too. See, that's the part that bothers me. Like giving it to you for a down payment or something and saying, you'll get another one next year. I mean, what kind of place can you get with a $5,000 down payment anyway? None I know of. But just because she says house, that doesn't mean there's got to be a house. That just means a place of your own. You can buy a condo, but them homeowner fees be killing. Sometimes they be as much as the mortgage. So all in all, if you're not ready to take on that responsibility, just give her a check back. Mail it back to her with a note. in a car, so you don't have to have a conversation face to face. 'Cause I have a feeling that you wouldn't be able to get your words together. So just get one of them blank cards and then, fill it out while you giving it back to her. Put the check in there, write void across it before you put it in the mail. Write void across it and then put it in there and then send it back to her. And then that'll be that. Question number 8. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking too, Jim Doll. Your mother would be able to build her some credit up or something. I don't know. I'm with the girl though. I'm like, that don't sound right. It was especially since that's like the initial presentation. It's like she trying to buy the house with using the daughter's credit. I don't know. Something about it doesn't sit well with me either. I'm like, hmm. Usually they would say, if you need me, I can help you, best of my ability or something like that. But to say it, then I'll put my name on it too. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, question number 8. Female, 26 to 29, out of New Mexico. I started dating a guy about 2 months ago. Things moved pretty quickly, and we both developed feelings for each other fast. He began introducing me as his girlfriend, made comments such as, we could have gone on our last first date of our lives. And oh, he's smooth. And I changed his life for the better. I bet he did. We made lots of future plans, this poor child. Then last week he called me and said that he did not see a future between us and that he was ending it. I was stunned. Over the course of the week, we kept in touch and continued to hash out the breakup. It came out that he has had this, quote, bad feeling with most girls he has dated. He feels scared it won't work out and wants to end it now. But he keeps reaching out to me. Is it really over? Help? Yes, it's really over. But I'm tell you the game he's trying to run. This is the game where he gets you what they call it, love bomb. Okay, but anyway, I call it just put the mash on you because they put the mash on you. They call us future talk. I'll get your head all spinning, with all this high levels of romance and attention and time and all these big plans and all the stuff. And you just, start painting this picture of, happily ever after. And then they go like, the magicians and the rug with the little tablecloth with all the dishes on it, go yank and everything still on the table, but there ain't no tablecloth there. Thanks, Jim Doll. And that's what he did to you. But see, this is the end game. This is where. So they do that, right? So you like reeling now, and but he did all that nice stuff. So you kind of caught up, right? Your emotions involved. So he's like, well, I don't. This is how I've been with everybody, and I just don't know how I feel. That's what's coming next. I don't know how I feel. I really still like you, but I just had this problem with every woman. So then you, being the competitive, young, naive thing that you are, think, oh, well, maybe I could change his mind. So I just need to spend more time with him. I need to just, do better in bed than all the other women. I need to just, do whatever, show him that I can really love him better than everybody else and that he has nothing to be worried about. So you start investing all this time, energy, and emotion into an empty hole because he's already told you that this is, it's over. So this all this, hashing out the breakup stuff, that's the game, that's the setup for you to, for now next week he's gonna hit you with this, well, but I would still like to see you. Can I see you? And you're gonna let him come over and then that's when part two of the game starts. So what you need to do is block, delete, change number, whatever you need to do, and just get him there. Yeah, this is this is just just so typical. It's not even unique anymore. It's just the same old stuff. They just use different words, or maybe they have an accent, but it's the same garbage. Okay, question number 9. Female, 21 to 26, New York. Hi, Miss Cooper. Sorry in advance if this letter is too long. Well, it can't be too long if it's on my form, the new form. It cuts you off. Last year, me and my mother were staying with a male friend of hers. We had to leave, and she was selling the house that we were living in. One night she left after they had an argument and didn't tell anyone where she was. He then asked me to leave within a few days. I didn't have anywhere to go and almost became homeless. I reached out to a family friend and asked if I could stay with her. She said yes, but I had to pay over half my salary in rent. Wow. At the time, I was working as an intern, earning just above minimum wage. This is while I was still living at home. Things soon got unbearable. I had a curfew, wasn't allowed to cook, wash my clothes, or take baths. In addition to this, she kept telling me how much of a loser I am, how my own family don't want me around them. What? I'm ungrateful. She's doing me a favor, and that the rent I pay isn't enough. After 4.5 months, I had enough and moved out. When I told my family about how unhappy I was, they did not seem to care and seemed to be very close with her. For example, this woman and my aunt both accused me of stealing jewelry that went missing, which I had nothing to do with. They also went through my things looking for the jewelry. This was after I told my aunt about how miserable I was and broke down crying. They keep focusing on the positive things she does for us, such as picking up my grandma from the airport one time, but not the negative things such as keeping money from people and general nasty insults. After everything I've gone through, my mother still wants me to have this woman in my life and to move back in. She wanted us all to spend the holidays with her. To protect myself, I ended up being alone. I feel frustrated at how weak I was and how this woman has so much control over the family. She didn't have to let me stay, which I do appreciate, but I just don't understand why she was so hateful. All the rent was paid on time and in full. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Girl, wherever I mean, like you're young. I mean, can't you find a place to stay in a roommate situation with two or three other young ladies? Why do you have to stay, especially since you have, you can pay some rent? Um, this is quite bothersome, and your family, there's something going on with them why they feel like they need this woman for something. I mean, picking her up from the grandmother one time, it's like she's the only person that has a car or something. Like the grandmother can't get in a cab or take the bus, or y'all can't borrow the car. I mean, what's going on with that? One time, and they want you to sacrifice yourself to keep this relationship. No, you're doing the right thing. Stay away from her, and I would say, look into some roommate sharing situations. Not to say that roommates aren't crazy either, but if you get somebody at least in your age group, you got to have somebody to hang out with and talk to and stuff, and you can cook and do your laundry, do everything that you can right there in the apartment. That where you live. I'm just really not understanding what this woman is going on. But I mean, she's just a family friend. So she was just charging her to, just for the room, I guess, that she had it, whatever. But I guess not official landlord tenant situation. She didn't say anything about having signed a lease or anything because when she got ready, she left. And when she got, asked Linda could she stay, she moved in. So it doesn't sound like it was anything really official. But I think she did the right thing to leave, keep your distance, and keep your distance from your dusty ass family too. Especially your mama just wandering off and leave you like in the house with some man, and then the man kicks you out and she don't even care. Why would you even listen to anything that she got to say anyway? Question number. Oh, I skipped one. Okay, here we go. Question number 10. Female, 30 to 36 out of Sacramento. Deb, should dating someone that has a juvenile delinquent daughter be a deal breaker? Let me think about it. Yes. I have been talking with a guy and we got along pretty good. His oldest daughter, 16, has been getting in trouble for underage drinking, smoking, truancy, etc. I was okay with that. Why? Well, now she's in jail for burglary. Wow. She was with some other kids over 18 and they broke into someone's house and stole guns and other items. She was the one that knew the homeowner was gone for a few days. When they got caught, there were drugs involved. Oh my God. Something tells me to keep my distance from this family. I wonder if I'm being too harsh, though, as it's not his fault that she acts like this. What should I do? Yeah, it is his fault. When you have a minor child and your child is cutting up and acting a fool, whether you don't have direct influence or not, because, we don't know what kind of relationship he has with his daughter. You know, I mean, maybe that's her way of trying to get his attention. Maybe he molested her and she's acting out. Maybe the stepfather or some other male that's around is molested her and she's acting out. There's a whole kinds of possibilities here. But what her behavior is right now is very self-destructive, and it indicates a deep problem where she doesn't like herself very much. Okay, so there's something going on with this little girl. She's a child. Okay, so at that point, when you're a child, she's only 16 just now. So you 14, 15 years old, is whatever you're doing, your parents have some responsibility in it. So, unfortunately, you, madam, need to let that go because any time and energy that he's spending dealing with you, chasing after you, screwing you, taking you on dates, thinking about you, calling you to talk on the phone, he needs to be putting that energy into his little girl. That's what he needs to do, and that's what you need to tell him. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore because I feel like your energy needs to be focused on fixing what's going on with your child, so that she, gets straight. Because you're diverting your attention on women and pussy when you need to be worrying about your daughter. And like now, right now, The thought that I have of you is not a good one because it's like you just a bitch made punk ass motherfucker, and that's why you not paying attention to your daughter the way that you should, and over here chasing tail. See, that wouldn't work for me. I don't know how you could be okay with that in the beginning. I mean, what were you thinking that would make you be okay with the man who has a daughter that's in crisis like that, and you just shrug and just like, oh, okay, all right, well, where we going to dinner? See, there's something wrong with you too. But this situation right here, this little girl, like I said, is in a crisis, and her parents, don't say nothing about the mama, but whatever the dusty parents she got, they need to get their shit together and get their daughter straight. I'm like, yeah, she's just a little girl. Well, she's 16, and we don't know what's been going on in her life, Lady Hathor. I'm not down with pounding on kids. I don't think that solves anything. But you have to get in a child. You got to get into their head. And if you got your child's mind, you don't never need to put your hands on them, never, because you can fuck them up with words. I know this. You say the right stuff, your child will be a puddle on the floor crying their eyes out and stuff, but it's like, this pounding on your kids stuff, that should be always be a last resort. And so there's something that happened. So this girl's behavior has been ongoing, and it hasn't been addressed. So now, 14, 15, now she's 16, and now she's in jail. So the behavior has escalated, and she's on this self-destructive path, and her parents aren't doing anything. Yeah, this is really sad. I hate to see, little kids get their life messed up before they even really get a chance to get on the path. All right, let's move on to question number 11. Female 30 to 36 in Frankport, Indiana. I'm in my mid 30s and I had to move back home 2 years ago to help my mother get back on her feet financially. I could not afford her mortgage and my rent as I already don't make much money. Bottom line, my mother wants me to live at home and take care of her for the rest of her life. I don't want to be 40, single, childless, and miserable living at home with my mother. I want to get married, have a child, and move far away if possible. But it's difficult because I'm so bound up with my mother. I love her, but since my stepdad died a few years ago, I have become like her surrogate spouse. I try to encourage her to get a part-time job, volunteer, and spend time with her friends, but she prefers to sit on the couch watching TV. She prefers me to stay home as well. I have very little privacy, and she will ask overly probing questions about what I am doing, where I'm going, etc. When I do go out with friends or the man I'm dating, she guilt trips me. Every problem that she has automatically becomes my problem to solve. She makes smart ass comments about my appearance when it's not her personal style, such as calling me a hoe because I like to wear long braids and extensions. She has never really taught me about relationships, just that I don't need a man unless he's taking care of me and the family, meaning her. I'm tired, and for a long time I've been resenting my mother, and I don't want to be negative towards her. I have an older sister that I have asked several times to help, as she's married to a man with a great job. She has a great job, and his parents that live with them have retirement money. My sister spends the bulk of her money on clothes and taking care of her adult sons and their baby mamas. A friend of mine who went through a similar situation with her parents told me that I will eventually have to cut her off financially and move out. But I'm afraid to do that because the last time I did, my mother was so depressed and made poor financial decisions that put her and my wallet into a bind. How do I overcome this without hurting my parent? You're not going to be able to stop having that fantasy. This is what you have to do. Set a date for when you're going to move out. Okay? Sit down with your mama and make her out a budget. She's like on Social Security or something, right? So she got some income coming in, retirement, whatever she got. Um, if she has a shortfall, tell her that's where you're going to need to go get you a job at Walmart or something like that. The little retiree jobs where they work 12, 15 hours a week. And then get her out the house, give her something to do. And, look around at some senior centers, some activities or something that they may have in there. I mean, whatever, you do the research and give her this list, okay? Because, they're going to try to act helpless. You're going to give her the list. And you're going to say, on this date, I'm moving out. And you need to have all your stuff together because everything up in here is going to become your responsibility. I'm not going to be doing this for the rest of my life. I'm going to move on with my life because I want to have a husband and I want to have my own family, and I can't do that living with you. So this is how we're going to do this. I'm giving you all of this notice. And when she starts calling you names, tell her to stop it. Don't let her do that to you. Say, this is why I'm moving out. Because you can't control your damn mouth. You talk to people crazy and then you think somebody want to do you a favor? See, I would be flipping that back on her so she knows when you move out that it's her fault. I would make it, even if it wasn't her fault, I'd make it her fault so that she has to feel like responsible for it. Because otherwise, she's going to be trying to blame you. So you got to start playing the game now. Every time you say, no, see, you want to talk about my clothes and stuff and trying to make me feel bad. That's why I'm moving out. Then you want to talk about my hair, call me horrible names. That's why I'm moving out. You see what I'm saying? Every time she starts up with something, that's why I'm moving out. That's why I'm leaving you. That's why you're going to be doing this shit all by yourself. And I'll be wearing her out with that. So, you're not going to be able to avoid her getting her feelings hurt. That's not your responsibility, though. Your responsibility is to worry about yourself and your feelings. And so you're going to tell her what you're doing and give her a date. Be fair about it. Make it a few months out and then, pack your stuff and go. Yeah, if she had a man, but with that negative attitude, calling your daughter names like that and stuff. I mean, no man gonna want to be around her because she probably doing the same thing to him. No, that's not going to happen. Question number 12. Wait, let me get a swig of my water. I'm 29, a female, 26 to 29 in Fayetteville. I'm 29. I met a guy, 44, not sure that's relevant though, through a personal site. He was quite intense at first, really insisted he wanted to meet up, so we went to the movies. Then for a long walk, we spoke about our lives and got to know each other. Then he dropped me home and kissed me on the cheek. He then texted that he would like to meet again. This time he invited me over for dinner at his place. We had a really nice evening. Nothing sexual, just some cuddling, and I went home after. Since then, we met up a few more times, but always when I suggested. He never texts first or asks if I'm free, but when I do message him, he's enthusiastic. It's always been nice. We laugh a lot and have fun, but I haven't moved into anything physical yet, although there has been discussion about fetishes and crazy past experiences. You're going about this all wrong. I decided to see if he would take initiative, so I didn't message him for 4 weeks, and he never checked in. When I did finally wish him Happy New Year, he immediately answered and said he hopes we can meet up soon. We have now planned a date for Saturday, but I'm really confused as to why he's not putting more effort into this and why he's so enthusiastic when I do reach out. At this stage, I'm not too emotionally invested, just genuinely curious. Oh, stop wasting your time. He's dating like 77 other women. So he's not really too pressed to be spending time with, any one of you. There's nothing wrong with that because he's a single guy and he's entitled to do that just as you're a single woman, you're entitled to do the same. But it just sounds like you're trying to put expectations on this that are inappropriate. Like, why doesn't he call me this? Men call women that they're interested in talking to. Men ask out women that they're interested in being out with. Men text women that they're interested in having an exchange with. So, he's not calling you. 4 weeks went by. I mean, shoot, like 4 days go by, I'm done. So, you talking about a month? Girl, what are you talking about? He would have never heard from me. Well, I don't even know if he thinks he's a prize. He just, he just doing his thing. He just, I don't know how y'all become up with this stuff. There's no stuff that it makes it seem like he thinks he's a prize. He's just a single dude. He's not committed. He's not her boyfriend. He doesn't have to check in with her. They don't have no kind of relationship whatsoever. He just sees her when he sees her. He only kissed her on the cheek. He's not trying to take no liberties with the girl. He didn't do anything wrong to her. There's nothing about his behavior that indicates that he thinks he's a prize. He just, out meeting people and doing his thing. That's what's called dating. That's how it goes. That's the way that it goes. So, this kind of thing, well, I know what I want to talk about. Okay, now, you dealing with a dude you just met, right? You cuddled with the dude, nothing physical had happened, but you have a conversation about fetishes and crazy past experiences. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Now, I know a lot of you be like, oh, Deb, you just so, so old fashioned. You just not. Okay. This kind of conversation, ladies, is called a hoe test. If you don't know what a hoe test is, go on the channel. There's a video about it. And it will explain to you the test that men run to see if you are a lady or if you a hoe. Only a hoe what he perceives to be one, I'm not saying you one, I'm saying what he's going to perceive you to be, would talk to a complete stranger about her fetishes and crazy past sexual experiences. Are you understanding where I'm going with this? That's not his concern. You should not, your lips should be like this. You should, I've never had any. I don't have any fetishes. How do you spell that? It's not his business. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's out of order. Okay. And this is some guy, this is a test. And unfortunately, y'all be falling for it. You see it online on these, groups, forums and stuff. Well, the dudes would be like, tell me, you know, what's the craziest thing you ever did, or how old were you when you first did it? And then all these women faces just showing right there on their profile picture, gonna put all this personal information about their bodies and sex lives on Facebook. And I just be amazed. I just be looking like, wow, y'all, and this as old as you all are, you don't know that this is like really something you really shouldn't be doing. I'm like, wow. Yeah, it's a big time hoe test. And so many women don't know that and they fall for it, you know. They be just like giving all this just way too much information. My thing is that if you sleeping with a dude, then he'll know those answers to those questions. If you ain't sleeping with him, he don't need to know because it's not his business. Okay. That's the difference. And even sometimes if I am sleeping with him, they still don't know. Because you only in, you know, one part of my sexual experience. You over here in never mind. But you just, you don't get to go. You in the vanilla category. You don't get to go into what they call it, Neapolitan, where it's the multi stripes, multicolor, multi flavor. You don't get to go over there. You in the vanilla category. You might get French vanilla, but it's still gonna be vanilla. All right, question number 13. Female, 18 to 21 in Boston. I am 21 years old and in my junior year of college. I've been extremely careful on not getting pregnant and have tried all avenues, IUDs, and all the stuff, but I had problems with all of them. Long story short, I'm pregnant. I found out at the beginning of December that I'm 4 weeks along. I knew immediately I did not want to keep the baby. I considered going through with an abortion via the pill. I got them, but I couldn't do it. So I decided on adoption. I told my friend I was planning on delivering the baby, and she told me about her brother and sister in law in her home state that have been struggling with infertility and been desperately trying to get pregnant for years. I FaceTimed with them a few times, and I think they would be perfect parents for my child. They're in a stable marriage for almost 10 years. They're both very well educated with great paying jobs, have an amazing home with land around where they could raise a baby in with room to play and grow. It actually made me excited to be able to know that the baby will go to a family that so desperately wants one. I decided they'd be a great fit, and since they're so far away, it would be like it never happened. I agree, that's good. So where are you, 18 to 21 in Boston? Okay. I finally brought it up to my mom that I'm pregnant. My mom's first words were, "What about Tracy? Her and John would love a baby." That's my older stepsister. She's 28 and infertile. She's known us for years, and we aren't that close. I don't know if she ever planned on adopting or having a baby through any other means. I said no. Tracy lives in the same city as me, and I see her doing holidays and other family gatherings. I don't want to adopt a baby into my own circle that I have to see all the time. I would basically become a step aunt, and she put a bunch of question marks. I just prefer the idea of having a closed adoption in a state far away with a picture every once in a while. My mom started gushing and called Tracy immediately, despite my protests, who seemed really happy. She told my mom they were looking into an egg donor and surrogate, but this baby is so much less expensive and less of a hassle. I told Tracy that I don't want to give the baby to her for the reason I listed above and kind of already promised another couple that they could adopt the baby. Now I haven't gone through any legal channels via the other couples. So it's like I have to do it, but I really want to. Tracy got upset and asked why I would choose a random couple that I know nothing about versus my own flesh and blood. Our parents have only been married for 3 years. We never lived under the same roof, and she was 25 then. She and my mom both called me an asshole. What should I do? You should, and then you do this tomorrow because it's a business day. FaceTime that other couple and tell them to go to an attorney and to get the papers for what do they call it? Independent. Wait, there's a phrase for it, but anyway, basically, it's like an independent adoption. To draw up the legal papers and the contract is going to spell out what they're going to do for you as far as helping you with prenatal care, delivery costs. When the baby will be delivered to them, what the expectations are as far as like, do you want to see the kid once a year? Do you want to never see the kid? Just get a picture every once a year? I mean, what do you want to do? Put everything in the agreement. You both sign it. Done deal. Okay. You they put a clause in there too for if you violate the contract. There would be fees to be paid, like if they gave you money to help with your costs and stuff, maternity clothes and all this kind of stuff, housing or whatever, then you would have to pay them their money back. That's usually a part of it. But it sounds like you're so young and you sound like you really have this firmly in your mind. This is what you want to do. So do that so that they can get that going, and then by next week you could have a contract with these people that will shut your mother and Tracy down. Okay, so no, I have a contract with them, and I don't want the baby to be around here where I see it all the time. I want the baby to be in another state. Make sure as you move through this process, you do not disclose to Tracy and John and your nosy ass mama who these people are. Tell your friend to keep her mouth closed. They don't need to know anything. Okay. And once you get that contract, you hide it in your house somewhere or get you a safe deposit box or something to put it in so that they never see it. They should never have any ability to reach out and find these people, contact them, bug the hell out, nothing. Okay. This is when it's time for you to keep your mouth closed and handle your business like an adult. I know you're young, but this is very important because they're going to destroy the way that they're acting. They were going to destroy those people's lives and your child's life if you don't keep your mouth shut now. Okay, so handle this, handle it well, handle it legally, do what you need to do, and like when you go to labor and had a baby and stuff, don't call them. Just have it, and then when the people come and get the baby, then tell them, oh yeah, they came and they took it. Well, we don't even know if she had. She didn't say who the daddy was. You know how when you're in them college and she might not even know who the daddy is. She may not know, but that would be for her to decide. But the attorney will let them all know that because that all varies. It varies from state to state. So, but the attorney will have all the latest information that you need. Who's gonna have to sign the contract? Who's gonna have to do what? Release of parental rights. All that stuff is gonna be spelled out in the contract. All right. Question number 14, female, 46 to 55 out of Canada. I'm dealing with an emotional blackmailer who is using the oldest trick in the book. If you leave me, I'll kill myself. Wow. What is the right thing to do? On one hand, I know they won't do it. I want to be rational. I mean, love can't make you suicidal, can it? I want to believe that it's simply a threat, not a promise. But then you hear those crazy stories on the news. I suppose I just need some reassurance from a stranger so that I know ignoring him is the right thing to do. Of course, there's always that little voice in the back of my head. What if? What if he's not lying? I could never live with myself if he really does something. Okay, well, since you can't live with yourself, I could live fine. But since you can't, this is what you do. Okay, you have his phone number to somebody that evidently was dealing with it, so you know where he lives and where he works and all this kind of stuff. So what you do is the next time he says that, whatever phone you call him, see, I can call from my computer, I can call from my cell phone. I have an internet phone through my, with a handset in the kitchen. So what you do is you can be like, mute the call. And then on the other line, you call 911 and you say, someone was on my phone. He just made a suicide threat. This is his address and this is his telephone number. So please go send somebody over there to check on him and make sure that he's all right. Okay. So when the paramedics and the cops come knocking on that motherfucker's door saying, sir, you made a suicide threat. See, he's going to bust his game up. He's not going to know what to do because he's going to see now that you're not threatened. You're not going to play his game. You're going to call 911 on his ass. And so now he's going to have to come up with an excuse of why he did it, you know? Well, here, like, I don't know what state she's in. Wait, did you say what state she is? Oh, Canada. Okay, she said, but she didn't say where. She's somewhere in Canada. And so I don't know how they do things. Here, if you have someone's going to self-harm, they send out, there's a special unit that's part of the police department that they send out with mental health professionals. But a police officer does come with them, at least one, and then this specially trained, person or people in this little special truck. And they roll up in there and they put your little happy ass in there, strap you down, and take you to John George on a 5150. And you got to stay there for 3 days. So, that would be what I would do because that way it would alleviate your guilt and your concern that, what if it is true and get you off the hook. But, me, I would just be like, is this a promise or a threat? Because if it's a promise, when you going to do it? I would have had popcorn so I get a front row seat. I want to see this shit myself. What you going to use? How you going to do it? Do I need to have my hazmat suit on, or can I just sit down there and cross my legs with my popcorn? It's going to be slow or fast. How you going to do it? I would just say all kind of crazy shit. Well, usually though, by the time you get the police involved, see, now they got a record. They got a record of them doing this kind of stuff. Then they stop because it becomes like too tricky. So they gonna do it again. You're gonna call 911 on them again. So see, now they're gonna have like, it becomes a problem. And then you try to get a job and stuff. And they got a record of you getting calls to about your mental health for 911. It's gonna come up on a background search, and it'll be like, what? What you doing? Nah, you can't work here. So people have to think about that kind of stuff. You start acting stupid, they start getting like tracking this stuff, and there's a record of it. Okay, so you need to be careful when you start acting stupid, because I'll tell you, I will call 911 on somebody in a fucking minute. I don't even care. Say anything crazy, I'm calling 911 on your ass. And let you figure, you explain it to them cops, and you know how they come too, because they don't know if you're gonna be real crazy, right? So they got their little gun belt on and stuff, and they always had a hand on their gun, right? So they come walking up the steps looking, you know how the cops had that look, and you over there acting stupid, talking about you gonna kill yourself. Well, see, they don't know when they come into the situation. Do you have a gun? Do you have a knife? Are you gonna try to take other people out with you when you go? You see what I mean? So they gonna come ready. So try something. Try it and watch what happens to you. So that's why I'd be just too happy to call 911. Oh, please call my phone talking about you going to kill somebody. Please do that. So the boys in blue can show up at your house and knock you down on the ground and put them bracelets on your ass and cart you away on a 5150. Yeah, you roll up out. Well, that's why you got to call the police. But that's right, because that's what they want to do. But but still, you can't keep them from doing it. But all you can do is shoot back. That's why I'm telling you, every woman should have a gun and know how to use it. Preferably two. One on you and one in some strategic place in your house that you can get to. But anyway, that's another video. Question number 15, 21 to 26 in the UK. I am currently living with my parents. My mom and dad are very supportive. They don't let me pay for anything, although I do help out sometimes with grocery shopping or if they need something. I'm 25 years old, female, and I am really beginning to feel like living with my parents is taking away my personal space, and sometimes I really need to be alone. But then I can't because the apartment is very small. I have a small bedroom. Sometimes my mom and dad wake up at 5 or 6 o'clock. Yeah, that's what old people do, which is too early for me, and I wake up because of the noises. Sometimes I'm low in energy because I didn't get enough sleep. It's not their fault, it's their apartment, so I can't really dictate when they should wake up. But it's really just those small things beginning to irritate me. Other than that, my parents are very nice and sweet, and I love them. And she put a little heart. The thing is, I haven't moved out because I like the freedom I have now. No rent, no bills. I can save all my money and go out, buy the clothes I want, have a lot more money to spend than if I had an apartment. I am so confused, I don't know what to do. Should I keep living with my parents and save up or just move out? But then my economy will be tight. Although the thought of having my own space is heaven to me, I am really into the idea. But the thought of having a strict economy just ruins it. In Europe, the apartments are really expensive, so there's no option to move into a low rent apartment. What should I do? Get a roommate. Get two. All y'all be in the same boat, want to be wasting your money on bullshit. Yeah, old people wake up at 5 o'clock. My grandparents used to wake up at 5 o'clock and stuff. Man, they had a rooster. Okay, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. That damn thing, man. My oldest brother used to throw rocks at it to make it shut up. And it would just, of course, squawk louder because it was mad. But oh my God, yes. Old people wake up in the butt crack of dawn. They just love doing that. I hope I don't do that when I get old. But let me tell you something here, young lady. You just a spoiled brat. So you want to complain about the noise that they make, but you don't want to move out because it's going to affect your money. Guess what? Either shut up and deal with the noise and being tired, or go and move out. Those are your only two choices. But like I said, you could save money if you had a roommate. You don't have to be with your with a place by yourself. But guess what? Guess what happens when you live in an apartment? You have neighbors. And guess what? What they do? Make noise and wake you the fuck up. That's what they do. So you could be moving out into an apartment thinking you're going to be having all this freedom and sleeping and all this stuff, and then have the neighbors from hell that blast stereos or walk like their feet are made of lead over your head. That's why I always have to be upstairs. I have to be on the top floor. I don't want nobody banging around over my head. And or they got kids run through that, making noise. Even if they downstairs from you, they still make noise. They fall and slam into the wall. I mean, apartment living is only for the brave. Okay, it's even bad enough when you have a house, because you got crazy neighbors or people that rent the house out. Them crazy baby mama Section 8 people that don't know how to act, and they move in because they can't tell no. So here they come bringing all their hood rat friends up to the house, for parties and stuff. They parking all in your driveway, on your lawn and shit. And it's nothing, what you gonna do? You gotta call the police, but it's still like the hassle of it. So there's no escape. And you think that this is going to be like this little stuff that you dealing with is such a big deal? Get some earplugs, heifer. Earplugs will solve your problem. And go to bed earlier. If your parents like to wake up early, go to bed early. Go to bed when they go to bed. And then you won't have this problem. And start saving your money. It doesn't make sense for you to be 25 years old spending money so frivolously. You should be having a nice, tidy nest egg right now. Yeah, honey, I'm telling you, apartment living ain't no joke. Especially if you live anywhere near the hood. You can forget it. It's just really not fun. But yeah, she thinking she gonna be leaving, she gonna be like living in heaven or something. Girl, you don't even know. Oh, you don't even know. Question number 16, female 21 to 26 out of the UK. Oh, we get a bunch of UK and Canada letters today. Okay. So I've been dating this guy for 6 months. 3 months ago, I asked him, what are we? Oh, that famous question. What are we? And he said that we have no status. He then backed up his answer with him not ready to jump into another relationship after the last one ended 2 years ago. I was deeply hurt because I thought we were acting like girlfriend and boyfriend already and that we were compatible. He also said he was exclusive with me. I took that to mean he thought of me seriously. Well, I was wrong. What does that mean? There's also quite an age difference between us. I'm in my early 20s and he's in his mid 40s. What are you doing? Oh, grandpa. He, just like me, doesn't have kids and has never been married. The last relationship he ended was hard on him since they dated for over a decade and he thought he was going to marry her, but she didn't want him. He's lying. She wanted to get married and he didn't want to marry her. That's what happened. Now I know I can't change his mind, but there is no possible way for me to look at him as just a friend. I would rather break up with him and not talk to him to clear my mind, but I really do like texting him and all that. He's a good man and goes out of his way for me out of the kindness of his heart, which is why I feel bad just ignoring him. What can I do to rid the future of us in my mind? Just break up and go cold turkey. It's called the no contact rule. That means no texting, no calling. Now it's because you're bored and lonely. You're gonna want to be texting and stuff. Shit, just go on. You can find anybody to text with. You know, I mean, you just want to be texting with somebody. Just go on Facebook. They have them random people that send you instant messages and on Instagram and stuff, and just want to chat. People that are just random strangers. Since you want to text with somebody so bad, but continuing to deal with this situation when you want something that he's straight telling you he's not going to be giving you, which is actually makes sense because you're too young for him. Okay, he's old enough to be your daddy. What are you doing? Stop messing with these old men. Oh my God, you young girls just be killing me with this stuff. Yes, you need to leave him alone. I don't understand it. Because, man, when I was in my time, I wasn't trying to look at that. Everybody was looking like their 40s. I look like my daddy's. You look like my daddy. I'm not trying to deal with you. That would be like ew and gross to me. Well, I mean, he's in his 40s. I mean, if he's taking care of himself, he probably still look good. You think about Will Smith when he turned 40. Remember in Bad Boys? That motherfucker. Suddenly I was like, whoa, what happened? He got fine. Because, he was just like that goofy eared, funny looking thing. But he was in there, it was like, oh, wait a minute, Jada, girl, work it. But, 40-year-old dudes, if they take care of themselves, that's like the perfect age. Between 40 and 45, I'll be following down the street. But other than that, shut up, melanated. Oh, these people are crazy. So yeah, that's all you got to do, girl. He too old. Every time you look at him, picture your daddy, okay, or your grandpa, and you quickly get rid of this. Get this out your mind. I don't want those old ass men. It's ridiculous. Question number 17. Female, 21 to 26, out of Washington, D.C. I've been dating a guy for 5 months. Notice how they always emphasize how long they've been dating. That time is very important to these women. I don't know what that's all about. But every letter, oh, 2 months, 2 years, 6 months, 10 years. Okay, now he's asking me, can I loan him $1,000 to pay his bills? Deb, I like him quite a lot, actually, but I don't want to do it. What should I do? You should just laugh in his face. The dude asked me for $5,000 for employee retainer. I was like, where they do that at? Nigga, I like you, but not nearly that much. I'm not like you enough to give you $50, let alone 5,000. You tripping? So of course he was dismissed, but this the game they don't. So you've been dating him for 5 months. Now he gonna hit you up for $1,000? And just think, if you gave it to him, then later on it'd be like, well, that wasn't enough. I need some more. So anyway, I'm distracted. Got sidetracked and something went into my head. What you want to do? He wants you to loan him $1,000 to pay his bills. Tell him, I don't loan men money. That's all you have to say. I don't loan men money. I don't give men money. I don't do no friends. Do I loan money to or give money to? And that's my rule, because otherwise it just messes up relationships. And he's not going to want to accept that. He's going to keep saying, but baby, please, baby, please, baby, please, when me and you, I thought you had my back. How, what kind of woman is you, this and that. It's like, well, maybe if we were married for 10 years or something and had a couple of kids and a mortgage together, and I had an extra $1,000 and you needed, I would give it to you. But under circumstances that we're in right now, that's never going to happen, sir. It's not going to happen. So you need to go run your pimp game on somebody else who's dumb enough to give you some money, because it ain't me. And as a matter of fact, when we hang up this phone call, lose my number. See, because to me, that's a boundary you done crossed. You need to get some money from your niggas. They be rolling around with wads of cash, useless, spending $500 on tennis shoes and stuff. So they should be able to hook you up for $1,000. But they be sure to run that game on women. So, he got 5 women he get $1,000 from, you know, nigga set. You don't need to even have a job. So y'all don't be giving these men no money. Don't give them a dime. Right? Like, oh, but that's my man. I'm trying to help him. You don't help men. In case you're not clear on that concept, go and look at the video. 7 minutes says why you should never help a man. It makes it very, very clear. You should never do that. Ever, under any circumstances, do you help a man do shit. He needs to do it himself. If he's looking for a woman to help him do it, he's a bitch. Okay? And you got a bitch nigga. And so you sit up there doing shit for him like he's a child, taking care of him like he's a baby, and then you want to say it's your man. No, heifer, you can't have a man that you taking care of like a child and it's just be your man too. That's an oxymoron. Okay? You take care of kids. Men take care of you. So you taking care of him, that's your child. Put him on your tax return as a dependent. I just don't get this. I'm just doing a little motherfucker. Question number 18. Female, 30 to 36, from Macon, Georgia. My mother-in-law broke her foot a couple of weeks ago and came to stay with us for a while till it heals. She lives alone in a big house, and we have a bedroom on our ground floor, so that made sense. I offered. I'm not mad that she's here, but it just cannot be easy. No, I'm in this constant state of anxiety spiraling into depression because I'm always not meeting her expectations for chatter. I literally can't. It's not even a remote possibility. I don't know if a human being even exists who can converse at the constant pace when she want to talk. I'm a quiet introvert, and a very high percentage of her conversation is actually highly rude commentary or question about my home, belongings, appearance, parenting, etc. She's the type who wants to mother us all, and I'm the type who's been a completely self-sufficient adult for 25 years. I'm in my 40s. So my reaction to these comments is not normally positive. I can be friendly with her for short periods and we get along fine, but the extended exposure is what's difficult. I work a stressful job from home where we are together all day and have a bunch of small sons, chaos, and I naturally require downtime anyway, just not just when she's here. The problem is when I don't perform at a correct level of friendliness, she gets upset. She talks about me where I can hear her fretting about if I'm mad at her. She frets my husband via text, and he simultaneously thanks me for graciously accommodating while making me feel guilty for not making her for making her feel bad about not engaging with her enough. She's just lonely. This is hard for her too. She feel like you don't want her there, etc. Anytime I'm obviously free but not engaging with her, getting coffee before work, after work, etc., the perception is I must be because I'm mad at her and don't want her there. Then my husband must do the dance of reassurance, she put that in caps, to convince her otherwise. Then he tells me about it because he needs to vent too. I feel bad. It's really hard. I get worn down. I get annoyed by her comments and fussing and questions. I get anxious because I know I'm disengaging, but I feel guilty because my husband has to deal with the fallout. All this in my own home. I'm currently spending the evening camped down in bed while they watch TV. I know it's caused issues, but I decide I don't care. I deserve to be accommodated too. I deserve to be able to claim some downtime without being an affront to that woman. It doesn't need to affect her at all. It's not my problem if she chooses to make it a problem for herself and my husband. There's no end in sight. What advice do you have for me? Well, she only needs for it to heal enough so she can get a walking boot. Okay, so if she broke it. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, depending on her age and how quickly she heals, this should be over in another week or two. And they can put her from the cast into the walking cast, or walking boot, or whatever they're going to put her in, with the soft cast and the walking boot, and then she can take her happy ass home with a crutch or a cane so she can navigate in her own house. And then you guys can set her up with some in-home support services. Call the social services department, because if she's a senior, you can get that for her. And they can go in there and help her with meals and, bathing herself, doing her laundry and all this kind of stuff. You don't have to do it. And then she can be up at your house. And that's what I would do if I were you. I'd be on the phone tomorrow figuring that out, and take out with her doctor when she'll be able to, be able to walk around on her foot without being in a wheelchair or crutches or whatever they have her on right now, and maybe use a walker, or whatever the doctor's next step is. You need to find out when that's going to be, and then that's the week that you take her ass back to her house. As far as her making criticisms about what you do in your house, why don't you shut that down? Why are you letting her talk to you like that? You're supposed to tell her, like, look, I understand that you have an opinion, and when I want it, I will ask for it. Right now, I'm not asking you for anything. I'm the woman of this house. I got it. Okay, now we can have a conversation, but one thing you're not going to constantly keep doing is criticizing what I do with my children in my home, what I wear, or nothing else. This is not your house. You do that at your house. Now, that's respectful, but it's putting a bitch in check. You didn't call her no names, but you just let her know, no, we ain't having that. And she need to find some other kind of way to conversate, as they say. Yeah, I'm just like, you mad at her and don't want her there. I'm like, you know what? You feel whatever you want to feel. I got work to do. And I would go in my office and do my job. And why aren't your kids in daycare anyway? Why you got them running around the house? Little brats, and they need to be somewhere. All right, question number 19. Male, 37 to 45 in the UK. This year has got to be the toughest year of my 4-year marriage. I love my wife, but she has these periodic black moods. During these moods, she will insult me. Tell me what a sorry excuse of a man I am and pack and leave. When in her mood state, I'm on constant alert. In the past, she's destroyed household stuff, broken 2 of my laptops, held a knife to me, threatened to kill our children, and threatened to leave me, and she actually does, while telling me how much she hates me. I've gone after her about 3 times this year and forgave her after she asked for forgiveness. I also had an intervention organized with me and her closest friend. When asked what's going on, the wife says she doesn't know what's wrong with her. She sounds bipolar. She just can't explain it. During her mood, she has called other men before. One time she made sure I overheard them talking, and she told the man on the other side that she missed him. She later apologized and promised it would never happen again, and then when she gets in the mood, she would just keep quiet without the drama. But I was getting tired. On Christmas Day, she woke up with the mood after the usual insult. She packed clothes for the kids and herself. I don't know where they are. I'm tired of chasing her like some lost puppy, so I haven't called her, and she hasn't called me. This time I'm done chasing after her. Tantrum, the life she's putting my 2 kids through. If she ever dares to come back, I want to ask for divorce. I don't know what else to do for my sanity. I know one thing you better do, motherfucker, since she's threatened to kill those kids. You better take your ass to an attorney, tell him that that's what she's done, and file for custody. If though you don't do that and something happens to those kids and she, in one of her moods, actually makes good on her promise, and you knew that that was the problem that she's been having, it's been consistent over a period of time, and you didn't take any steps to intervene to protect your 2 children, You are shit on a stick if that's what you do. So, I mean, I understand you want to be rid of her, but you're the father, and it's time for you to step up and step in and do something to protect the kids. They should not have to be subjected to this nonsense. And you should have handled it. You should have dragged her and put her ass in a mental institution, acting like that. Once she just threatened you with the knife and all that stuff, you were supposed to call the police so she could get the help that she needs. She's not the kind that's gonna do it, you know, just voluntarily. She's gonna have to do it by force. And just when you were supposed to call social services. Well, he's only 37 to 45, so you figure she's, probably younger than him or in that age group. So it's not menopausal. Menopause does not make you hold knives to people's throat and threaten to kill your children. That's faulty thinking, and that's very sexist. Very, very misogynistic statement. Amazing. Let me delete that shit. I told y'all, don't be putting crazy stuff in my chats. I don't like that kind of stuff. Oh. What this lady has is some kind of mental problem. And they have those seasonal affective disorder, because he said that she, gets into the swing this time of year, especially this year. See, so something's going on. Periodic black moods. Oh, that's interesting. But anyway, that's the only thing I have to say. Next time she does something like that, you need to call 911, report it, get her taken out of the home for her own safety and the safety of the children, and for your safety as well. Have her put in there in a hold for observation with her threats and stuff. And then when she gets out, she's going to be forced to get counseling because of the fact that she threatened to kill her children. That is a very important aspect of this that will make them want to keep her longer. And do more testing and stuff, and probably put her on some mood altering drugs, because the woman sound batshit crazy. But this is the thing that's really kind of upsetting to me. And see, this is the kind of stuff that I was telling you about, the stupid motherfucker gene. Remember that article I wrote called "The Stupid Motherfucker Gene"? She got it, and so she's gonna be like passing that shit on to the kids, and they're going to come down with it too. Question number 20, male, 37 to 45, out of Chicago. I'm 34 and have two sons by different women. They are 4 and 8 months old. Whoa. And neither was planned. I was having casual relationships with their mothers, and it happened. Not that I mind. They were born. I'm very happy that they are here. I'm having a sex-only affair with a woman right now, but I occasionally go on dates with other women. I find that many change their style the moment I tell them I have 2 children by 2 women. They get even more distant once they know I've never even been married to either of them. I never thought this would be a problem. Can you explain to me how women view the situation? Yeah, they view you as being irresponsible and silly. You in the 30, okay, you're 34 years old, and you got 2 sons, and you got an 8-month-old and a 4-month-old. Okay, didn't you learn something about after the 4-year-old to strap up? No matter what birth control she says she's on, you're supposed to be handling yourself and being responsible for your seed so that you'll be dropping babies all over the place. So if you got a woman that doesn't have any children, or she was married to her husband, her children are with her husband, she has a different value system than you do. Her value system is to only have children within a marriage and not to be dropping babies all right and left hither and yon like you do. So, she's going to be interested in that, because you guys have vastly different family values and moral systems when it comes to how you handle yourself sexually. So they see you as irresponsible, just a hoe that just be barebacking and making babies everywhere. So I don't know what else to tell you, sir. I'm trying to just be blunt, because, that's just how it is. Anybody trying to be your baby mama number 3, 4, and 5 except some dumb broad. And so, you got these women that distance themselves once that happens. That should tell you that they're not trying to be a candidate for that. They're not interested in that lifestyle, and neither are they interested in being with a man who lives that lifestyle. Okay, because there's certain types, there's a lot of people who are single parents. My case where the person died. There's people that are single parents because they got a divorce. There's people who are acting single parents because their husbands, like deployed somewhere for a year or something. So there's a lot of situations where you will see a woman or a man, with children by themselves. A lot of different situations. That doesn't always mean that it's a baby mama, baby daddy situation. You got to investigate. But in yours, you straight told them that that's what the situation is, and you was never married to either one of the women, but yet you was just bareback and dropping babies. So it's like, what? And they're young. So I mean, if she got with you, she gonna have to be dealing with like daycare and baby mama drama and shots and preschool and all this all kind of drag and drama. No, ain't nobody trying to sign on for that. So that's why. That's why. I hope you understand now. Whew. Gives me the willies just to even think about it. That's how I keep getting sick. Oh, no, I'm not. Anybody got a kid that's under the age of 80, I'm not dealing with them. I'm not dealing. The last 3 times I got sick was because of little kids. The baby I'm holding, baby sneezed right in my face. Okay, moisture droplets went in my eye. Baby got green and yellow boogers coming out of her nose and shit. That was instant infection. I mean, 24 hours I was sick. Okay, the next time the same thing, baby cough. I'm holding the baby, bouncing right in my face. I'm sick. This last time, New Year's Eve, somebody's sick, coughing with his mouth wide open right across the table from me. So, like I'm sitting here and he's sitting right next to me over there, coughing right on me, all of my food, everything. 24 hours later, I'm sick. So, see, I'm not going to do this anymore. No more kids. You got a kid, I'm not coming to your house. I don't want to be around no kids. They get me sick all the time. I'm done. Okay, let's move on. Question number 21. This is from another male, 30 to 36, from Winnipeg, Canada. Deb and the crew, I need some advice. I work as a night security guard, doing about 52 hours a week. I earn all the income for the house, and my girlfriend does not work. She hasn't worked for more than a year now. Her father pays all her bills, which are credit cards and catalogs for her. So she has no reason to get a job. It's upsetting for me as I go out in all weather earning money to pay for the rent, food, and just about everything so she can sit at home and watch TV. Though I love and it's hard for me to leave her. I need your advice on what to do, please. Oh, nigga, please. Or whatever you are, Winnipeg, Canada. Whatever the fuck you are, let me tell you something. That rent you pay and all the everything, your cable and all that stuff, you would be paying that whether she was there or not. Okay? The only thing that might be different is the amount of food that you buy and the power bill. Because, if she's home all day, like you would probably turn the heat off or whatever, the lights wouldn't be burning. But since she's there, it is, and the TV's on and, whatever. Okay, so your power bill is higher and your food bill is a little higher. Okay, but unless she eats like a pig, then it's not really that much of a big difference. What it sounds like to me is you just jealous. You just want to be living like somebody taking care of you too. But like I said, whether she was there or not, you be paying some of them bills all by yourself regardless. So like I said, the only thing you can look at her for is to contribute on the food maybe. Have her, help you buy some food or something. Or tell her she need to buy the food now and you pay the rest of the stuff. But you leave, you can have her leave if you want to. You think it's gonna be easier? You're still gonna be paying them same bills, and then you're gonna realize that you only out like $35. It's used to in your head. It seems like this giant amount of money, but it's you $35, $40, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I could have had my baby here getting some booty every night, but now I'm tripping about $30, $40. You dumb, sir. You better rethink this. Question number 22, female 18 to 21. No location provided, it says. This has been weighing on my mind recently. When I was about 11, my father, who was basically an absentee dad, came around to my home unexpectedly after X amount of years. He wanted to take me to see the new Harry Potter film. Oh, okay. I went downstairs after my mother told me that he was here. He forced me to hug him, and I kept my hands by my side. Oh, boy, I'm getting the willies about this. He always forced his hugs on me since I was little. He gave me the most prolonged hug ever. It lasted about 10 or 15 minutes on an 11-year-old girl. While he was hugging me, he was pushing his crotch on me and rocking side to side. This is her father now. I didn't enjoy the hug and was confused as to whether this was normal or not for a dad. I never ever enjoyed hugging him because I didn't know him and he was a stranger man telling me to hug him. But I did enjoy affection from other male relatives and it wasn't uncomfortable. I don't know if he deliberately done it or lack of self-awareness. Of course he deliberately did it, nasty freak. He is delusional and thinks he's actually been a father to me. He's also told me the conception story of me and all my siblings. See, where's your mother? She should be bopping him upside his face. My mother saw the hugging and he let me go. She asked me if he was hugging me in a funny way, meaning inappropriate. I told her no because I didn't want something bad or drama to happen because of me and because I was confused and didn't understand fully. I still don't understand. Wait a minute. How old are you? 18 to 21. Okay, you still young. He and my mother agreed that sometime in the future he would take me to the cinema to watch Harry Potter. So the time comes for him to take me, and when he tell my mother he's taking me to the cinema that's quite far away from our house. My mother went crazy and told him to take him to our local cinema. He said no. My mother said, well, then you're not taking her, and she took me to the movie instead. At the time, I thought she overreacted, but I now realize she done it because of the way he hugged me. Fast forward 6 years, he turns up again. The first thing he says to me is that I better not have a boyfriend and don't let any man touch you, especially not a yardie, whatever that is. He also told me to sit in his lap. I said no. I didn't connect it to his hug at the time. I just thought he thinks I'm still a little girl. Just to add, my mother is not around for me to ask. I don't speak to my dad anymore after that separate incident. I haven't told anyone this story, and I don't think I'm a victim of sexual abuse or anything like that. But I don't know if I'm over exaggerating or should I just let it go or what. I am still confused about it though. Just want to make sense of it all. Can you help me? Yes, you were a victim of childhood sexual abuse by your own father right in your mother's fucking face. And she was supposed to pick up something and bop him upside his face with him and bust his head open. That's what she was supposed to do. And tell him, don't you touch my daughter ever again. If I even see you within 3 feet of her, I'm going to knock you out. Oh, it's Jamaican? Oh. Well, okay. Well, she didn't put, it says no location provided. So I didn't know that. Okay. But anyway, okay. So he's a Jamaican pervert. I wonder where they live that he would say that. Yeah, well, okay. I'm glad you guys know. I never heard that phrase. But anyway, yeah, because it says no location provided, so I don't know when. But anyway, girlfriend, that's what happened. And your dad, that, 10 or 15 minutes while he was doing all that, he was basically jacking off. That's what he was doing. And the only thing that what your mother was supposed to do, having observed that, and she really should have done it prior to you becoming 11, so that you were aware of what the stuff that can be coming down the pike with nasty ass men, family, neighbors, teachers, all stuff, is to let you know what is correct hugs and touches and what men should and should not be doing to your body. But see, so many mothers fail to give their daughters that message, and so they go out into the world. They're just like, oh, they don't know anything, and you did that to them. You set them up. So y'all need to start talking to your girls more and tell them. And these days, shit, you got to talk to the boys too, because perverts will be doing stuff to them as well. But you definitely have to let your girls know. I had to tell my daughter this. I was really surprised all the talking I did to her when she was talking about. She was, I don't know. Yeah, she was in high school, maybe like ninth or 10th grade, maybe. And she came home telling me that she and her little friends was walking down the street, and some boys from her school were walking and asked them for hugs. Some guy in her class or something. And I said, what? And she said, yeah, they asked her for a hug. I said, did you give them one? Well, a little bit, and she could tell by the way I was looking that was a mistake. I said, let me tell you something. You don't be hugging no motherfuckers. Okay, you ain't dating them. It's not your uncle or it's not me. You don't hug them. Okay, you don't let nobody be touching the front of your body up against his. That's what these little nasty pervert boys was trying to do, get some free feels. And she was looking all astonished. And it's like, I'm like, I know I've explained this to you several different times. Why did you die? It went out of your head. So that's what I'm saying. You got to tell them, and you got to keep telling them, because I don't know what happens. It just don't stick or something. And you know how I am, so my daughter knew. But in that moment, she didn't know, she didn't recognize the game from, in this situation. But after that, she did. Yeah, there you go, hot caramel. You got to teach them young. They don't touch you, they don't hug you. And I, try to tell my cousins, about the little kids. It's like, if you tell, you hold out your hands to a child, right? You hold your hands out, and you like, would you like me to, can I give you a hug? can, I talk, give you, a hug, or you give cousin a kiss or something like that. If that child says no, drop it. Is that child is the one who has authority over their own body. They decide if they want you to pick them up. They decide if they want you to be close to you. They decide if they want you to kiss them, if they want to kiss you. I leave that decision completely in the hands of the child. That is their body. And you have to do that to them. Otherwise, your child feels like they don't have control or any rights to say no to people touching them. And that's what you guys are. Go over there and touch, give Auntie so and so and Uncle so and so a hug and a kiss. If the child don't want to, don't force them. You basically setting your child up to be sexually abused when you do shit like that. Y'all thinking that it's like, you being all nice and stuff. You're setting your child up and you're teaching your child that they have no autonomy over their own body. So stop doing that. I'm telling you, like my little 4-year-old cousin, like usually he's pretty standoffish, right? But on New Year's Eve, for some reason, he was upset and he shot by his grandmother. He shot, and he came straight to me and he was like this. So I picked him up and he clung to me. And I'm like, now why he chose me? I don't know. Because usually me and him be at it. We had this little thing. But that night, he just wanted to be all up under me. So I hugged him and everything and that was fine. But he came to me. See, so that was his choice. I never forced myself on a child ever. So you guys don't let any man do that. Some old auntie with a mustache, your grandpapa, your daddy, nobody. If your child says, no, I don't want to, you make that person respect your child's wishes. And if they reach for him anyway, you knock their hand out and say, she said no. He said no, and you respect it. Don't put your hands on my child if she don't want you to touch her. And that's you put your mama bear on if you need to. Because a lot of motherfuckers have this thing where they think, that they make a kid do what they want them to do. Hell, the fuck you do. My baby don't want you looking at you, don't want you to be standing too close to you, and she don't want you touching her. So you get back up. Don't make me get my gun. Okay, here's the last one. Oh my God, this looks long as hell. Okay, well, at least my voice held out. Question 23, female, 26 to 29, conquered. In a nutshell, my mother loaned a guy that I dated a large sum of money, more than $6,000. What? Without my knowledge, and she threw it in my face out of spite. It was revealed in an argument that we had over her alcoholism and abusive behavior. Not only did she loan him the money, but then she co-signed on another loan. I was shocked at first, but then hurt and finally livid. I confronted him and he lied as expected and then admitted it. We no longer date because of him being a habitual lying con artist with a gambling problem. My mother knew all this because at one point we were close and I confided in her that he was like this. You 26 to 29. I wonder how old your mother is. I haven't spoken to her since August because this was just insult to injury. Not only has she been a lifelong alcoholic, but she has exhibited traits of jealousy and immaturity. She's also very male identified and a veteran pick-me. I feel like she did this to cause drama and get back at me for doing well for myself the past few years. She's very competitive. Okay, she gaslights, she does all the stuff, and so she told her mother to keep me out of it. Every relationship I've had with guys, she gets jealous and intrusive. But she took a liking to him in the beginning because when we first started dating, he spent a lot of money on me. She was acting like he was her son-in-law. We were married, even though I told her to chill and not get too attached. I thought she was just happy to see her daughter getting spoiled, but I should have known better. She was jealous, and she used this as a leverage to say, F you. I'm mad because her loyalty should be to her daughter, yet once again, she is willing to risk our relationship for a man. He's pretty much dead to me, and we're no longer together. I didn't let him off the hook either. Am I wrong for feeling this way? No, you're not wrong. Why would you be wrong for that? You didn't have nothing to do with that. And, that's why I asked, I was wondering how old she is if you have older siblings, because you're only in the 26 to 29 age group. Your mother's probably not old enough for adult protective services intervention. But if she is, see, that's financial abuse of an elder, and then you can report him to, where are you? Concord, that's Contra Costa County. Yeah, they have a very strong adult protective services unit out there. And they would, investigate and file charges on dude and have him arrested and, fined and charged and fined and all that stuff for that money, especially for the loan that she co-signed for him. And that's $6,000. So he would have to pay that back or, he'd have some jail time for it. But if she's not 65, then there's nothing she can do. She's going to have to eat it and then she can get him to pay it in a civil case. But in any event, this sounds like a mother-daughter relationship that is kind of pointless, like it's toxic for you. And you're old enough now where it's not like you really need to have that relationship with your mother. It sounds like she's not really doing anything positive with her life, so she certainly can't be doing anything positive for yours. A lot of us have this thing, where people have this blind loyalty to, well, that's my mama, that's my daddy, that's my this. Okay, but how are they playing that role in your life? If they not really playing that role, you just have that assign that title to them. It's just to me like a nignog walking around talking about I'm a king, and they want this treatment, but they acting like a gutter rat. It's the same thing. And being somebody's parent is an honor, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. And if their person is not filling that role correctly, then you don't have to give them those kudos and those honors, nor do you have to give them that respect. They haven't earned it. Okay, so you guys be very careful about that. Um, you know, about showing that blind loyalty to somebody just because they birthed you. Sometimes the best respect that you can show them as well as yourself is to just leave them alone, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you cussing out your parents and going through all this drama and stuff like that. You don't want to do that, because then that weighs on your conscience. What you do want to do though is protect yourself, so you would just step off, just leave them alone, just cut them loose and just not be bothered. So I guess that's it for What the Fuck Wednesday today. Thanks you guys for coming back. And people came yesterday, and yours truly was hacking and coughing like a maniac, so that was not gonna happen. And I'm glad I turned the corner. I feel better now. I had to get antibiotics and everything. It was terrible. My sister was sick. Okay, just super sick. And we have, be back on Friday. We're gonna be doing the Dusty News Network show with your memes and stuff. You guys been sending some very good ones. And then I'm gearing up for February next month. Video a day, our annual event, Video a Day February, February 1st through 29th, of new video up every day on the channel. Okay. So I want to thank you guys for coming. Once again, please share a link or two. Any video on the channel will do. It doesn't have to be this one. And before you leave, please hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please become one to the Desperism channel. Help us reach our 25,000 subscriber goal before the end of this month. I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year one more time. And I'll see you all real soon. Bye-bye.